Okay, everyone. We are back again for this wonderful games over the weekend for those of us that scored legitimately, and but it's all good. But it's all good. We're happy. It's another wonderful weekend, people. It's the weekend review of the English Premier League, and we are
This I
talking
love
about
this energy this weekend. It's low, the voice is low, everything about it. Guys, I need to do the introduction, guys. I need to take over the introduction for today. Hey guys, it's an amazing weekend. We have a great guest with us today. It's been a run of games. We loved every game this weekend. The energy is high from this side. I can't speak for the rest. It's an amazing weekend. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Lagz, can you match that energy? That vibe?
Yes, absolutely. The energy will always be.
This energy is too low. This energy is still low.
This is what happens when you win in every blue moon.
Absolutely.
You get unnecessarily excited. But I mean, enjoy it while it lasts.
This is what I would say. The big boys of the league lost, while the small fishes they managed to win. So
that's an accurate way to put it.
The Manchester Cities and the Arsenal. Hey guys, we have an amazing guest with us. Kola, thank you for joining. He's a great Liverpool supporter. Guys, say hello to Kola in the comment section. And he's an amazing Liverpool supporter. We are sure it's coming over to the Arsenal side once we start winning Champions League, EPL.
No way. That's not gonna happen.
Even we won the European trophy, then you can now start talking. Okay, maybe. But for now,
I feel for Lagz today. It's so low.
No, but Lagz,
like giving you a hug.
Lagz, you are getting something wrong. You are talking about Arsenal winning Champions League. The first question is, how many times have they even played in the final? I think we should start from there. How many times have they played in the final? Because you have to play in the final to win the Champions League, right?
You need to get to the final, yes. And they've only been there once.
Hey guys,
and so
guys,
they don't know what it is like.
Me, I love it when historians start giving us historical facts on a day that I just won a great game. It doesn't touch my skin.
It doesn't.
Hola.
I know. I've never known you to be someone who is myopic. You can't just be looking at now only. Come on, man.
Today, right now, I'm having all the fun because I know the weekend was horrible for all of you.
The weekend wasn't horrible. This is, first of all, I understand where you're coming from. It's your first time winning at Newcastle. Something you have to do.
You understand the context.
And bear in mind, you won with set piece, as in your Stoke FC, set piece FC.
Okay, so what we should have done? What we should have done that corner kick was to take the ball and return it to Newcastle and say, take the goal.
And bear in mind, the referees were on your side because there was a penalty in that game that wasn't given. A Lagz shot. But we let it slide.
They follow the rules of the game. Proximity. That's one.
They follow the rules of the game. Wow.
Okay. There was a penalty where my striker, Victor Gyökeres, was taken down.
That was not a penalty. By the rules. By the rules. By the rules of the game. No. There's a difference. There's a difference.
The keeper got the ball and still gave them a penalty.
No, there's a difference.
Let's start from
There's a difference. Anyway, guys, we understand some people are happy. They are not used to winning like this. But anyway, but this is what I always say. It's not just one game. It's a marathon.
Hey, bro, nobody's asking for motivational.
We're just in game with
conversation about my.
We're just in game with six. We're just in game with six.
What happened yesterday? Manchester United versus Brentford. Let's start it over there. Nobody's interested in your motivational talks.
So yes, it was unfortunately Man U lost. As I said, the big boys of the game lost this weekend. Those who know. We're looking at the likes of the Real Madrid, the Liverpool. They lost. These are the people in which I rub shoulders with. Those not the people that managed to beat Newcastle with set piece and cross and not, and are excited. But it's okay. It's one of those things. I think we got at the G-Tech Stadium. Unfortunately, we lost the game. It was sad because I was actually hopeful. I thought something was gonna turn around. After beating Chelsea the previous week,
Guys, I just took a sip of tears.
putting Chelsea to shame. But honestly, I'll say I was very, all across board. United fans were upset. We're not happy. We were looking for something. A whole lot was riding on this game. We wanted to see, because every time we turn up against the big boys, we always put in a display. But yesterday
Which the big boys did you turn up against? Arsenal beat you, just so you know. But let's keep going. Let's not get distracted.
Well, there's context to everything, but after beating Chelsea, we were hoping to build up on that game. But yesterday was disappointing. We, first of all, from the whole play, the setup, it's a whole lot that's been going on at Manchester United, and it's sad to see. I remember last week I said, if Man U loses, I was so sure. I said Man U was not going to lose. I said if Man U loses, I was going to be hammering out. And I'm getting close to that edge. I'm getting close. I'm supporting the team. Manchester United comes first, regardless of who's in charge or who's not in charge. But yesterday was disappointing. I mean, Bruno Fernandes missing a penalty. That was sad. I don't want to hurt because, as I said, the fact still remains. We're just how many points? 5 points behind Arsenal, 1 point behind Chelsea, 3 points behind City, and just a couple of points behind.
Lagz, you talked about context the other time. This time I'm going against you. You talked about context. If you say you're just 5 points behind Arsenal with just 6 games gone, you have to put it in context. Just 6 games, and you're already 5 points behind, 10 points behind the league leaders. After 6 games,
no, we're not 10 points behind the league leaders. We're just a couple of points behind the league leaders.
I'm going to check on the
How many points do you guys have now?
We're on
They have
points.
7.
Seven.
Yeah,
So that's 8 points. So you're 8 points behind Liverpool.
So just about 2 wins. We're just 2 wins and 3 wins. 3 wins of ahead. 3 wins of ahead of Liverpool.
2 wins and 2 draws.
No, 3 wins. I said 3 wins of ahead. And for Manchester United, the games don't get easier. We're playing Sunderland next, and then we go to Anfield. So that'll be exciting to see.
Where's the second place you are going to?
Liverpool. We're playing Liverpool.
Okay.
Anfield.
That advice you gave us now after that loss, I'm going to wait for that advice 2 weeks time.
So it's honestly, it's really sad because look, everyone has talked. Even I go to my Man United group chat to my fellow fans, and we all say the same thing. We can all see the problem apart from one person. It's all about tweaking it. You can still play your 3 at the back, whatever you want to do, but just tweak it. The midfield is the heart of every team. Once your midfield is weak, it changes so much. And it's sad that, even the goals we considered, fine, one was supposedly meant to be an offside, but we let it slide. It's what they do against Manchester United. It's what they do, but we allow it. The other one was just
you mean the first goal?
Yes, the first goal, yes.
But didn't they go to VAR?
They did, though. They checked it, though. They drew the line.
Because you see, lads, the thing is, if there is any controversy for any, in officiating in any game these days, I don't think that we should be talking about offsides, because it's either you are on or you are off.
You are off.
VAR, it should be clear.
They drew the line. Maguire was too slow to get out.
Apart from the error that was made the other season when we played against Tottenham and lose, what's his name now? What's the guy's name? This is our guy that we just sold to Bayern.
Luis Diaz.
It was clearly onside, but somehow VAR got it. There was miscommunication.
So before they took that shot, before they cleared the ball, there was a foul. There was a foul in the build-up. There was a foul.
Which game are you talking about now?
Still the first game. Mind this game against Brentford.
Okay.
Yes. So there was a foul, but they didn't blow. And then those guys took the ball over the top. But it's one of those things. We let it go.
Kola, losers
let it go.
Explain.
We let it go.
Celebrate.
No. He has a right. He has a right to respect.
Kola, wait. No. You start supporting him and telling me, I know it's your brother this weekend. You two have explanation. The problem is this. He said he was offside before. Now he was foul before.
No,
Then
when you go to VAR, they are meant to review the plays before that happens. But they didn't. That's why my players, if you check everything, my players are stopped. The players are stopped that, look, ref, what's going on? There's a foul. What's going on?
Play to the referee's whistle. You are professional.
Wow.
Kola, tell me, what do you think about Manchester United? Leave yesterday's game alone in isolation. Leave the game alone. Let's not look at that game in isolation. What do you think about United in total? The style of play, the level of players too.
Yeah.
And all of that. What do you think?
Personally, so I used to say, long before now that I'm a Liverpool fan and I'm a Man U hater. I don't even hate Man U anymore. Honestly,
you can't hate somebody that is like hating Grimsby.
It's a waste of hatred.
Yes, absolutely.
So, but in all seriousness, I think Man U's problems have moved away from the pitch. That's moved away from the system. That's moved away from the board. It's now in the mind. It's in the mind, and they just can't seem to get free. To set themselves. It's a mental thing now. That's what I see.
They have a losing mentality, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
they losing mentality. It doesn't matter what they do these days. It just seems as if they can't get it right. And this is not peculiar to Man U. This can happen to the best of them.
Oh, trust me.
If you lose consistently, after a while, you just lack the the mental toughness.
Yes.
And it goes the same way. If you win consistently, then you have that that can-do spirit. And
that's a fantastic analysis, because I think back to when Arsenal had Shamak, Juru, Penderos, JS Park, all those. They had a losing mentality. Nobody listened to that excuse. In fact, we are still struggling to get out of that losing mentality. That's why we are finishing second.
Yeah.
But theirs has gone so bad. It is rotting. The stadium leaks. Ronaldo was saying it. They fired him. They chased him away. The pitch is always waterlogged. They fire coaches and bring mediocre coaches. It is the coaching. They get a new coach, and he has refused to change his style of play, even though they are losing.
Yeah.
If you watch the game yesterday, right? It's the same thing I've been saying. It's not enough to want to play 3 at the back. What kind of 3 at the back are you playing? Does it become 5 at the back when you're defending? Because that's how I know most European coaches play it.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it leaves those 3 at the back isolated when they get countered. Brentford kept on going over the midfield with long passes.
Right.
It was too easy. I hope Arteta saw that and would be willing to finish them off at the Emirates. It was horrible. And I agree with you. You see, they are approaching a place where even if they get some of the best players in the world, teams are no longer afraid of Man U.
That's the truth.
Teams are no longer afraid of Man U. Even right now, Arsenal is playing well, but you would still see that teams are not as afraid of Arsenal as they are as afraid of Manchester City and Liverpool, for instance.
Yeah.
Teams are not as afraid of Chelsea and Arsenal the way they're afraid of Liverpool and Man City. And that's why even when Man City is playing bad or Liverpool are playing bad, teams will still go and sit deep and let them score.
Yeah.
When they should be attacking them. Crystal Palace yesterday, for instance, attacked, right? But when you look at Manchester United, these smaller teams are like, we can take these guys.
Yeah.
Just take out Bruno Fernandes, for instance. Is he Menu or Tesco? He finally bungled one in yesterday after weeks of.
But there's still someone on 007. There's 150 million on 007, but we'll not go there.
Well, he will have to speak to that.
Which one is that?
Don't worry, when we get to him, we'll mention it.
Okay. So again, I just think Man U. I'm beginning to feel for them now. To be honest, I'm beginning to feel for Man U, and I'm surprised that as a so-called Man U hater, I'm beginning to now feel for them.
So this is we don't want anybody to feel for us, because
I can't help it. Lads, I can't help it.
No. We don't want no pity. We are still Manchester United, one of the greatest club in the world and the biggest
I'm
biggest club in
shocked you
England.
wore this jersey today. I wouldn't have been surprised if you came here wearing
you see this badge will always stand strong. 20 Premier Leagues. It will always be there. Something that Arsenal cannot relate with.
Yeah, Arsenal cannot relate with. I mean, on that ground, Jealous, you have to.
Yeah, I love history too. He has to now. His consolation, he has to dig back into the archives, into the library, and check Manchester. Oh, Manchester United.
Yeah. But then
Liverpool does not just dig back into the archives. They match it with present performance.
It is just a present. It's a present.
Nobody is asking them about what happened before Peggy. Peggy does not even remember how he won his last trophy. The man can't remember.
But let's not forget. Liverpool were nobody until club and until last couple of years. So it's just as if they were nobody. Remember, they took them 30 years. 30 years before they had their first trophy. 30 years before they won their first Premier League.
But they were winning Champions League.
But in between that time, that's exactly.
They were winning Champions League.
We won Champions League.
And they never finished. Outside of the top four. They didn't finish. You guys did not only finish outside of the top four. You almost got relegated last season.
As I said, form is temporary, but class is permanent. Right now we're on a rocky form. Right now we're on a rocky form, and obviously when everything is rocky, it seems like nothing is working in your favor. But I'm telling you, moving on to next week.
I've enjoyed this conversation.
Moving on to next week, we're going to build up, starting from Sunderland, and you have my word, and we'll be back here again.
Bro, I think what we need to do before we move on to Chelsea, to the Chelsea game, what we need to do is we need to change the direction of this podcast, in my opinion. We need to change it to a motivational talk podcast. We'll move faster if we do that, because it seems to me that you become a motivational speaker. Let's go to Chelsea.
There's not about being motivational speaker, but it's what it is. And yesterday, look, we've not had a good record at the G-Tech in our last couple of games. So there was that kind of thing was playing behind the players. So we lost yesterday. Yes, we lost. Some things didn't favor us. Form. And it happens to be the best. And it happens to be
the winning against Chelsea. The winning against Chelsea feels like a blip in the losing streak.
As I said,
lads, I think this is one challenge. Okay, I'm going to give it to you in a way that you probably be gentle. So here is the point. I think the love that Man U fans have for their club is so real that you guys are burying your heads in the sand.
Okay? They've been spoiled.
Yeah, because the way you analyze it now, it's almost as if you are giving excuses. You know,
yeah, that's what
it's fast shape. You guys need a serious surgical operation.
I completely disagree.
Coming of a team of that kind of caliber in the Premier League.
I don't believe we are far off, but once everything clicks,
Lagz,
everyone will be scared of us.
Lagz, hold up.
When are you going to click? When?
Lagz.
You will see it. You will see it when it happens. You will see it when it happens.
Lagz, hold up for a second. Get your last word in. We need to go to Chelsea. I thought you were going to discuss Man U alone for 30 minutes. We are almost.
Let me say something again. I don't know if you have noticed. The mental situation is so bad that you have players who are very good. They come from other clubs, and you are like, "Oh my God, this is a good signing. This Man U is going to change." And then they come to Man U, and I don't know, for some reasons they are unable to perform. They look useless, and then they leave. And they perform.
Rashford, Anthony, Garnacho, Scott McTominay, all doing very well.
When Onana came to Man U, Onana was a good keeper.
Yes, he has not been able to get out of that losing mentality. He has not taken it to Turkey. He's still conceding left, right, and center.
Before you guys say it's a Man U thing, Onana considered 2 goals in 1 minute. So let's not make
it's
it
the
like
Man
it's
U
a
problem.
Man.
He has not
No,
gotten out of
it's not a Man U problem.
He will take it. His own was worse than the other guys. You know, it's a goal. He was
no problem. But no problem. Let's go on to Chelsea. Chelsea
Yes.
Brighton, and Chelsea lost. At Stamford Beach. A happy day for me as well.
Let me take
Brighton.
that Chelsea one initially, right? And this is the reason. I think first, whoever needs to take a bet, right, guys, you need to listen to our program and listen to me make my calls. I called it that Liverpool was going to lose, called it that Chelsea was going to lose, called a United loss, called an Arsenal win, and called a City win, because I knew City were going to destroy Burnley, right? Now, as for Chelsea, you see, the challenge with Chelsea, and I will keep saying this, right, is as with Man U, they have this losing mentality that they are developing. Chelsea, on the other hand, is not a losing mentality. It is an arrogant mentality. That's a team that thinks they are better than they are. They think they are better than they are. And I think a challenge is Cole Palmer uplifts them a lot. So when he's not playing, the gap in quality immediately shows up. That's one. Two, because they are now arrogant and they think they are better than they are, when things are not going their way, they become very violent. See them fighting, pushing people, kicking players, becoming petulant, behaving anyhow on the field. You know, this is the second week now they've gotten a red card. They could have gotten 2 red cards yesterday if the referee was serious.
Yes.
Because what's his name? Badiashile came in and wanted to fight everybody.
Yes,
Yes, he should have gotten another red card for that. And you know, it was a great weekend. Chelsea lost. Social media was very quiet. They didn't have a lot of touts around, just making noise, disturbing.
Are you suggesting that the noisemakers are in blue?
Oh, Chelsea fans, one win, you think they won the World Cup.
So this is what I'm saying.
By the way, they said they are the world champions.
But they are.
Yes, world champion losing week in, week out to Division 2 clubs in Premiership. It's sad.
Who are the
Nobody
Division
was
2
interested
clubs?
in that World Club champion.
Who are the Division 2 clubs in Premiership?
Grimsby and Co. Man U.
So this is what we say for Chelsea. Something I don't know. I think this is unusual. Back-to-back red cards. I mean, first was Sanchez, but I want to get a clarification. I thought if you have a straight red card, it's meant to be 3-match ban. But it seems
So
like
I think the rule has changed. It is now if it's violent conduct.
That's when you get 3 matches.
Yeah, that's where it comes to 3. Now I think it's usually now just one match.
Just once. Okay, so Sanchez. So now this is it. Chelsea are losing vital players. Now, yesterday they brought in, you could see, I think even Chelsea fans, unless they are just in denial, I think they have a very weak defense. And the manager, anytime something happens, he panics. Right. Yesterday, who was fantastic on the right back? James. There was no need to remove James. He was there. And then you brought in Gusto, and all of a sudden, Gusto is all over the place. And this season, something strange has been happening. Cucurella has been a weak point. Everyone that plays against Cucurella, they are linking him left, right, and center.
Just to sit on that your point, that guy, what's his name? Minte almost killed Cucurella. When he finished with Cucurella, gave him to another guy. Then went to Gusto and started with Gusto again.
And you know, it was very strange because now I'm asking myself, okay, where exactly? Yes, Dilap is injured. We all know Joao Pedro is not that number 9 that can hold up the ball. But the truth is, unless Chelsea fans are in denial, they are missing Jackson.
They will never agree. I told them.
Because even with the red card, I could tell you what Jackson could have offered them. Hold up play and you run the channel. They may not be prolific in front of goals. Because you ask yourself, you spent 100 million on Garnacho and Gittins, but you're looking for something to change or someone to do something, and you can't bring any of these guys. I'm not saying they are not good, but that's money gone. Now, Caicedo is getting tired. Week in, week out, this guy has been the engine of Chelsea.
Yes, and he's becoming more violent. the more tired he is, the more he wants to kick his
Yes.
opponent and kill them.
And then midweek now they have Champions League. That's not where it stops. Benfica comes to play Chelsea on Tuesday, and guess what? Who Chelsea are playing next week? Liverpool. So now you now ask them.
The advice they gave Arteta when Arteta started Merino, they better hold on to that advice.
So now
I love when you go to Anfield.
So Jacob, let me say something about Chelsea. There is something that, to be honest, I'm confused. I really don't know. I really don't know what's going on with them, because the last 3-4 seasons, at the start of the season or just before the season, during the transfers, I actually feel like, oh my goodness, Chelsea is going to be. They are going to deliver this season. For some reason, I just have an unusual fear that they will do well. So, but each of those last 3-4 seasons, it's been disappointing. So back to what Lagz said, it's difficult for me to really put a finger on what exactly the problem is with them. I really don't know.
So let me try to identify it for you, because I had that same feeling. Then I started to look at them. So number one, I think in attack, they bought a bunch of great players. Those guys can play. Let's be honest. Let's be objective.
Okay.
But I think what they are missing is finding a balance in defense and goalkeeper. That's one. Then a proper out-and-out striker. Then over the last few seasons, right, there's been a lot of changes. They changed coaches. Some of the players that they thought would come through, they blew money on, what's that Ukrainian guy's name again? The one that refused to go to Arsenal. They blew money on him. Now he's gone. We don't even know if he's still a football player or if he has retired. He's gone off, and they then buy more players. Right. Now that's what has happened. So there's a lot of changes. The core of the team keeps changing all the time. Today is Neto on the wings. Next week is Esteval. Next month they've sold off somebody and they are replacing him. I, for instance, didn't think Jackson should have been sold. Now, it's not a finisher, right? But Jackson still offers you something in actually games where you want to stretch the other team. João Pedro is not a proper striker like Lagz was saying earlier. He drops deep. João Pedro actually, the old 4-4-2. If you think about the old 4-4-2,
he's an ideal striker.
Yeah, when he plays behind the striker.
Behind the striker, and you still have a 10. But he will be the support striker. So João Pedro is that guy. But now he's having to play as striker. And his instinct is when he's not getting the ball, he drops deep.
Yeah.
Now when you drop deep, that allows the opposition defense to defend better because they will have enough space in front of them, away from you. Yeah. But at least put in some tackles, right? So I think that's one of the challenges. Then secondly, this will be my third point. The recruitment this season was absolutely wrong. They spent, again, so much time focusing on the attack instead of the defense.
Yeah.
The guys on the fullbacks are okay in my opinion. Okay, right? They are good. Kurela, let's say Eto or whatever the other guy's name is. Gusto and James, right? But the center of that defense does not give anyone any confidence.
Yeah. At
all. So for instance, look at Arsenal today. The game felt too big for Mosquera at some point. Half time, Arteta was able to take him out and bring in probably the best defender in the world at the moment, bar Van Dijk.
Sorry,
Van Dijk.
Did you say that? Are you saying that with a straight face or?
Yes. With a straight face. If you take out Van Dijk,
oh my God,
it's better than.
I think Saliba is a good defender, but the way you are painting it now,
no. It's not about what you think it is a good defender or not. Tell me.
This is in your own opinion, according to you, in your own opinion.
It's not my opinion.
In your own opinion.
According to
No.
is it Maguire?
In your own
Is
opinion.
it Maguire or
In your
Dele?
own, I'll pick my players over Saliba. I'll pick
good for
my
you. And
Gay
that's
over
why
Saliba.
you are on the
I'll pick a lot of
Let me
players
do a
over
good
Saliba.
check. That's why
Saliba hasn't been the best. Saliba hasn't been the best.
14th
Saliba-
position again. 6
Saliba-
games into the season, you are back in 14th position. Anyway,
Saliba hasn't been the best.
so I think that, and they are missing Kola. I think Kola is a good defender, right? Can grow to become world class, you know. So there's that consistency is in there. Now they are now adding red cards to it.
Yeah.
You know, so I really don't care. I'm happy they lost. It's been a fantastic weekend for me. All the Chelsea fans I know, they are sulking. Some of them are fighting back.
I have another question. Again, and it still comes down to the how puzzled I am with Chelsea's performance in the last couple of seasons. So in the middle of the pack,
yes,
apart from Palmer, right?
Yes.
I also think that they lack creativity, and I'm talking about true creativity.
Enzo Fernandez is a weakling, but they will not listen.
Enzo is not a creative player.
He's a weakling. Okay, tell me, what is he exactly? He's not creative. He's not as aggressive as the other. If you look at the guys that play his position, he plays 8 for Chelsea, right?
Yeah, meant to be the box to box.
He's supposed to be the box to box. If you think about those guys right now in world football, I can name at least 5, 6 who are way better than his. Okay. In fact, I think Liverpool has like 3 or 4 in their team alone.
Yeah.
Liverpool has like 3 or 4 in their team alone. Then you think about Rice, is way better than his. Jude Bellingham is better.
Yes. Ugarte and the rest, yeah.
No, Ugarte does not even play 8 for you. It's this guy who plays with Bruno Fernandes, does it more now. He's way 1 million times better than his. You can't even play there.
So I think back to what I think that's also a major problem that they are having.
Absolutely, because I agree.
Palmer has a lot of creativity, right? But I'm not even talking the kind of creativity I'm looking for. It's not even the kind of creativity that Palmer brings. Because Palmer is the kind of player that can drive the ball, towards the opposing side's, last third. But I'm even talking about the kind of creative player that holds the ball,
that can take the ball from his own half and go to the front and then
create.
Because you are looking for
slow the game down if he wants to. You will pick in the game if he wants to. I'm looking for a JJ.
McAllister. You are looking for McAllister.
Exactly.
You are looking for Bruno Fernandes. You are looking for Rice.
So they're looking for someone that can actually control, change the tempo of the game, increase it.
And I think that is missing in their team.
Absolutely, you are correct. That's a good call out. That's absolutely a good call out.
So I think something about Chelsea is, it's like someone said, they always buy the best player from Brighton, and Brighton still goes ahead to beat them. This is nobody can ever understand.
Their feeder team came to beat them.
Let's not forget they took Buonanotte from on loan. He couldn't play yesterday because of loan players. They took about 2 players from them this season. One went to Strasbourg, another one stayed at Chelsea. So the thing about Chelsea is they make other clubs look like they're not doing business in the transfer market because they are buying, they're selling, and then you're wondering what's going on with my club.
Yeah.
And then when the season starts,
especially when you support that star, they are not buying on the last day of the season.
So and then you now look at it. Okay, who did they attract? When the season starts, you now look at it. Okay, who did they really buy? The truth is, last season they were lucky to win the Conference League. If not, the truth is, it was a failed season with the money they spent and the money they're spending.
Right.
Because if you look at it, yes, they won the Club World Cup, but I look at who did you guys really play? Now they're in the Champions League. They had the first taste of it. Now they go to Benfica. Now they're going to start having matches that are now coming thick and fast. Do they have the squad to sustain it? Now you play Benfica, maybe they might win it, but then after Benfica, you have to prepare for Liverpool.
Is Mourinho not in Benfica?
Mourinho is in Benfica.
How would they win? He's going to defend.
I know it's still young in the season. I think they'll probably still be okay at the end of the season, but I think right now they're having more questions. They're asking more questions, especially Maresca. It seems to panic. Once a challenge occurs, and then he just seems to panic, like, hey, he removes Estava, removes this person, removes. So maybe over time he will grow. and you mature with time, with more games, hopefully.
And I think their loss yesterday, if they are not careful, it may actually haunt them longer than one would think. And this is why I say that it's not only the fact that they lost, it's the manner.
Yes.
Right? They were a go up until the 76th minute, and they ended up losing the game 3-1.
Yes. Because ideally, with 10 men, it should be tougher to break down. With 10 men, it should be tougher to break down. And you brought in a defender. You brought in Badiashile.
If it's us now that defends one goal lead now with 10 men, they will say we are playing around football.
It is always around football.
It
is always around football. But at this point, let's move on to
no. Before we go, one last thought on Chelsea.
Yes.
I think they got Esteban right. He's going to be a great player for them.
Yes, he has the potential.
Potential. His ceiling is very high. He's a great player. So let's move on to Liverpool.
So, yes, Selhurst Park, in which we had I think one thing about that game was we had two teams that have been undefeated in the league this season.
Yes.
They were undefeated, and Crystal Palace had the edge. The last 3 games they have whitewashed Liverpool. I mean, it seemed like they call Liverpool, hey, meet us in National Stadium. They'll still wipe them there. But it was a very interesting game. But I'll leave the floor for our special guest to handle what happened.
Let's get on motivational speaking.
No. I'm not even going to do so. Yesterday I was out. My son, he has a tournament this weekend. So he played yesterday and he has some other game. He has 2 games today, but I couldn't go. So I watched it on my phone in the car while we were waiting between 2 games I played yesterday, and I was disappointed. So we didn't play well, and that's the truth. And here, so for me, we haven't really played like we should be playing with this season. We have not even started. That's the truth. But credit to the team. Yeah, credit to the team. We've been able to get results. Not just results. 5 in 5 for the first 5 games.
Absolutely.
And if you ask me, when you don't and you can win games, you are showing, that you are champions material. However, we cannot sustain, or rather, we can't continue to not play well. I mean, if you play very well and then on a bad day you still win, yeah, that's good. But we cannot continue to not play well and then we win. I don't like that. Okay, yes. I don't like the way, and I think we have a serious problem defensively. Serious one. We are conceding too many goals, and there's no way. I was telling my son, because we all support Liverpool, right? I was telling my son,
force those innocent kids to support Liverpool.
I didn't force them. It's that they grew up into it. So So I was telling him that this has always been my own take. You cannot win any major league, especially in England, with a very bad defense. It's going to be difficult.
Yes.
Remember the season when Rodgers was Liverpool coach? Was it 2013? I can't remember that season.
Oh, yeah, with Sketu and Sketu, Aurelio, and the rest of them.
Yes. Yeah. When we had Suarez, we had Sterling and Sturridge up front.
Yes.
That season, if you score 4, you will score 5.
You score 5.
If you score 10, you will score 11.
Yes.
So you see, it's not sustainable. For you to contend for the top flight in English football, you must have a solid defense. Look at this season now. We've considered how many goals in 6 games? 10 or 11? That is abysmal.
I can confirm that for you. I'll check.
That I personally, I don't like that. You cannot, compared to Arsenal, yeah, today's goal, today's Newcastle goal, that's the third goal you guys are conceding this season, correct? Is that correct?
Yes.
If not because of the kind of mentality, I don't think that Arsenal is there yet mentally to go all the way. But if Arsenal had the kind of mentality that Liverpool has, Arsenal actually has a very good chance of winning the league, because you are very solid at the back. I want a team that scores very well, but I don't want the fear factor to disappear. If people feel that they can score against you easily, then they are not scared of you anymore. And Man City has that problem since last season. People, the fear factor seems to be going. They don't fear Man City again. The only thing Liverpool has now is that even though we are porous at the back, people still fear because we can punish you. In one instance, and we almost got away with it yesterday. But in fairness, I think Palace deserve to win that game.
So to be fair, everybody knows if you go to Palace Stadium, it's a small stadium. Well, any small stadium is hard. You're already against it right from the get-go.
Yeah.
But this is something I was looking forward to Liverpool this season, right? Was that when Ancelotti came, he didn't change much. Only that you can play the pressing of the Cup, they play more of possession.
Yeah.
So I was saying that, they rode on, or they just continue what Klopp had already built. I think it was the easiest transition Ancelotti could do. And that worked for them last season. Because let's be honest, everyone else was poor last season, even Arsenal. If not, Arsenal should have given Liverpool a serious run, and maybe they would have won it.
Well, we had a lot of injured first team players. Please.
Excuse us. We don't want to hear your excuses. We don't want to hear your excuses.
Without full first team, you finish 15. You can't be talking.
You don't want to hear your excuses. But what I'm saying now, this season, a lot of people have strengthened in different areas. If you look at it, right, you had Isak. Isak is, for some strange reasons, is struggling to fit in, which is going to take some time because it's going to take a time for them to understand him. Now, surprising this season, right? Yes, Liverpool have been scoring in 90th minute, getting last goals. Against Burnley, they were lucky to have that penalty in the 94th minute, which that stupid, I don't know, maybe he played the bet or something. Then, I've been saying this since last season, Salah is been a negative in his overall play. He can score a goal, but what is he contributing to the team? If you check your right wing, those guys are suffering. The Frimpong, whoever plays there is suffering. That's why we're seeing Szoboszlai that can't overlap or anything. Now, there's no replacement for Van Dijk. He's deteriorating. Your replacement for Robertson, Kekes, is still trying to figure. He was one season wonder. He's still lost. He's still trying.
He doesn't even look like a proper defender to me. He looks like someone that is happy to be playing in the opposition's half.
So, Kekes.
Oh, okay. I'll come back to that later.
So Kekes is still trying to figure himself. Then you have Konate. We all know Konate is one hamstring away from being out for another 1 month or something. So the only solid person you have there is Alisson. But then everyone is noticing that, look, these guys don't have the pace and they are not coordinated yet. And for some strange reason this season, Federico Chiesa, the injury man, he's been the savior of Liverpool. And the annoying part, when you see the goals, you just put your head like, this guy did not really kick. He didn't kick this ball. No, he didn't kick the ball.
Twice in that game. He would just pop out with some silly smash it on the ground. And the ball just goes in. There was a volley, I can't remember the team, where he came in and the volley was so off, but the ball went into the net. But as you said, and again, something's beginning to come out of him. He's not more looking calm again. He got a yellow card. His Premier League is beginning to get at him now. Because last season he was all smiling, his head was shining. But now there's something different. Now everyone wants to see your tactics because you see that wave of last season has gone. And next week is a true test for Liverpool. I have to say, it's a true test. Because Champions League midweek, are you going to rotate to play Chelsea? Because Chelsea are where they are going to. Those ones, they don't really know how to play ball. But when you enter that stadium, it's like entering hell.
And Chelsea are unpredictable, especially when it comes to the big teams. And you are very correct. You can't be sustaining this. It worked last season. They were just winning and winning. But now teams are like, if we can sustain Liverpool's pressure for the first 20 minutes, you see the game changes. It switches over. They are missing Trent. There's nobody that can. There's no winger. Frimpong hasn't gotten himself yet. But yeah, go ahead.
So I'm going to say a few things. I think one of the things they are suffering is changing personnel.
Exactly. That I was going to say that. I'll allow you to take it away.
The way Ancelotti enjoyed Klopp's team last season, right? those guys will pressure you and they will get a lot of possession. It's called game press. They will game press you and they will get a lot of possessions. Eventually, they will convert one or two, right? Now, Luis Diaz leaving that team is having the same effect as when Mane left. Luis Diaz gives you high-level pressing. I'm not sure there are too many wingers in present football who would press like Luis Diaz. He presses very hard. Gakpo cannot do that. That's one. Two, when, let's even say Isak or what's his name, goes to press. Ekiti State goes to press, right? Now, you are supposed to have the midfield push up, right? Florian Wirtz is a featherweight. He's a featherweight. So what has happened is he's getting overpowered in that midfield. He hasn't stopped knowing how to play the game. When you see his touches, he's still there. He wants to try and do something, but he's a featherweight. The game in England is so fast and tough that
it's so fast. Nobody gives you time. He's always looking for time on the ball to do what he wants to do. Yeah,
exactly. So even when he gets the ball, or even when he's going to press, when they pass the ball, they go past him easily, which throws the press into disarray. Right? It doesn't let the press look like it's a form. Now remember, Salah doesn't press as much. Salah used to be the weak point in that press. If you think back to the old club team, where you have Firmino go press, Mane, all those guys, Fabinho, they will rush you in at the same time. Salah was in weak link, but it didn't show because you had a lot of people pressing at the same time. Now the problem is you have about 3 people in that attack, not pressing with the same velocity, same high level of pressure. I think that's one. Now, what that has also done with the pressure is it takes away pressure from the defense. You know, Van Dijk can pick his moments to flaunt, maybe make 1 or 2 big tackles in the game. I would say, oh, he's the best defender in the world. Konate gets away with it as well. Now, they're having to defend a lot more. Now, they don't have, I think, Frimpong is not the proper defender. Maybe he's a little bit better than...
He's a wing back. He's more of a wing back. He's a
little bit better than Trent. Trent, on the other hand, at least if we concede one and make one useless pass, that Salah will score up front. Frimpong might not even be able to give you that. He just wants to run at players. And in England, he will not be the fastest. They will keep in touch with you. Then you have Kekes on the other side. Kekes, I
think he will adapt. I think in his time.
They said he defended well against Madueke. I say Madueke lacks the final ball. Because if that was Saka, and Saka got in that box at the rate at which Madueke was getting in that box, or more, I don't care. We'll score one at least against him. He seems to be happier on the other side of
on the attacking side. On the attacking side rather than defensive side.
Rather than on the defensive side. So those are some of the things. And this is where we will now know the worth of Ancelotti as a coach.
Yes.
You know now, Guardiola is not getting 1 billion every season anymore now to buy players. But he's now having to adjust. They look good against Burnley. That's fine. Next week now, they will play against the proper team again. We'll see again.
Because I think, sorry to cut you.
Yes,
I
sir.
think that the major challenge we are having this season so far is the change in personnel. Honestly.
Yes.
And in fairness, we still have to give it to Liverpool. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, we got 15 points, maximum 15 from 5 games.
Yes,
you
that's the fair part. You are winners.
So at the end of the day, I don't think that we should make it look as if everything is falling apart. I don't think it's like that. I think it's
we're not saying it's falling apart.
We're not saying that. The reason why it looks like that is because the wins you've been having, they've not been
They've not been outright.
Oh, yeah, yeah, exactly. I agree.
We've not blown
But you
teams
know
away.
what? There are two ways to look at it. So personally, I don't like the fact that we have won some of those games the way we won it. But that's one angle to look at it. The other angle is to look at it that it must take you to have a lot of mentality to win 5 games on the bounce in that manner. Okay, so it comes back to what I was saying earlier. Defensively, I am not happy the way we are playing. I mean, in those 5 games, we went 2 goals up, and we conceded that, and the other team equalized. The same thing happened in Europe against Atletico. We went 2 goals up, and then we conceded 2 goals. I don't think that's how a championship team. I mean, a team that is should play.
And I think you guys are lacking squad depth. Serious squad depth is really.
Are you sure? I don't think so. I think
so. Who do you replace Van Dijk with?
He's not at the back.
Would you replace?
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is a squad depth issue, right? Like if you remove the moment you take out Van Dijk and Konate from the center.
Yes, so Van Dijk and Konate.
Let Lagz finish.
If you take out Van Dijk, what I'm saying is, as games are coming thick and fast, right? Let's just say you remove a Van Dijk or Konate, and you look to your bench. You can't really say this person can actually come in and put in a shift or do a job. They can probably do, but they are not tested. Do you understand what I mean? And I also feel the signing of Florian Wirtz has affected McAllister. McAllister has been a shadow of himself this season. I don't know why, but something is wrong with McAllister. I think that signing has maybe 3 more balance, but McAllister controls the game for Liverpool. Gravenberch, McAllister, they control the midfield. Endo has been nowhere to be found.
So you are right. To actually answer that question by yourself, because I was going to say the problem is before McAllister used to play the deep role.
Yeah,
get the ball from the defense. However, they've given that responsibility to Gravenberch. That's the problem. McAllister now has to push a little bit forward where it's not comfortably. He likes to play from deep.
Yeah, no, he's not even playing games like that because Wirtz is there. There's a Gravenberch and Szoboszlai has actually, who I think has been Liverpool's player of the season so far. Yeah. He comes into the midfield as well. So you realize McAllister seems to be more on the bench nowadays, or he comes in or they take him off early.
I actually think that the player that Liverpool should be playing more. That they are not playing in the midfield. What's his name again? The one that gave the free kick away to us.
Curtis Jones.
I actually think it's hard to bench a player that is that expensive in Florian Wirtz, right?
Yeah.
But trust me, I think it probably needs to come in for a few games.
Yeah.
Take the pressure away from it.
Let me say something about what Lagz said about the depth, the issue. I think the challenge we have, I agree with you to some extent.
Yeah.
It's at the back. And it comes back to what I was saying, that defensively we are not. So because now, if Van Dijk gets injured, there seems to be trouble in paradise.
Yeah, that's true.
This Leone guy that we just bought now played 1 game, had a fantastic game, but he didn't even finish. And he's out for the entire season. The guy got ACL. For the entire season.
Fantastic. Wow.
So you see that January we have to find a way to get game.
That you want to do emergency signing, you can bring back Joru.
We have we need to do something at the back because Gomez is old. He's not your world-class defender. He is prone to injury. So definitely,
and he's prone to a lot of mistakes too.
So at the back is the problem. The midfield is okay. Then I disagree with Lagz. Lagz said that Salah. So again, you are right in saying that Salah is getting old and all of that.
No, then his overall contribution to the game.
Last season was one of his best seasons ever in Liverpool, apart from his 4th season. Last season, he had 47 goals contribution in all seasons.
What I'm saying is, with the way the game is going, you see, Salah is, I like Salah. I'm a huge Salah fan, right? But my issue with Salah is, you might not see Salah the whole game, and then he gets one fluky shot, he goes in, Liverpool wins the game. So what I'm saying is his overall contribution, like at one point in time, are we going to start saying, look, there's actually a guy that can come off the bench and allow Salah to rest for some games because Anslot, right? Even in the EFL games, bro, it's full squad. These guys are not getting it. EFL that you're playing a minor, he will still bring in the Van Dijk or the Salah. They will still play. It's like
I don't know, but the
success.
EFL game we played, we rested a lot of players last week now on Tuesday.
But they still came in.
No, not all of them came in now. Not only a few. So why I said I disagree with Salah is the fact that if you are judging him, if you say that his goals contribution so far this season, if you are questioning that,
no,
if somebody is coming from 47 goals contributions last season,
so Kola,
you don't have a point.
Kola, I think his point. His point is not just
about the goals.
About the goal.
But his goal, I'm talking about goals and assists now.
No.
Last season, he has 29 goals and 18 assists.
What I'm saying so far this season, because now he's not having. See, there's no that defensive cover isn't there anymore. For him, you're having a Frimpong and sometimes they bring in a Bradley. So what I'm saying, you see those overlapping things that Salah used to get. It doesn't get them anymore.
Yeah.
Now sometimes it's like you just don't see Salah, or sometimes it's just like, oh, Salah was in this game. Like the influence he's having over the games have reduced compared to before or last season.
I agree with you, but here the challenge is that we need to ask ourselves: is the team itself, the entire team, playing the way we should be playing?
Yes.
So I was telling my friend yesterday that I would say the same thing. What happened?
I said yes.
Am I still on?
No,
yeah,
my screen just went out. Okay, yeah, it's back. So I was telling my son yesterday that I would have said the same thing Lagz is saying about Salah. Yeah. The question is, it's difficult for me to say that because
big DJ.
So I won't be able to single him out and say that he hasn't contributed much. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let's go to the next game.
Sorry, before last thing, please. Last thing, if you permit me.
Yes, go ahead.
I think we lost that game yesterday. Apart from the fact that all credit to Palace, they played. In fact, that game should have ended in the first half. Okay, but I think we lost that game because of Kekes. And I'm not talking about overall. I think that last clearance, I believe he was coming this way on his wing. I think that he should have swung his right foot to clear that ball.
To clear the ball rather than trying to
clear it with his left to this side, because that throwing now, the referee will be like, oh, they want to throw the ball in the box. I will allow them. It's almost like a corner kick. I will allow them to take that throwing. If he has swung that ball with his right, he probably would have gone away from where they could throw in the box, and the referee will be like, okay, time over. Because we're already like 45 seconds above the 6 minutes that the guy gave. And there was a substitution. My son was like, they shouldn't have allowed that more time. And I said that's not too much time, really. In fairness, I don't think that it was too much time. But if he had done the clearance in a way that the referee would think, oh, they really can't do anything with this, it may have ended the game. So for me, I think that clearance was poor. And again, you are clearing the ball to a side where you couldn't see. What if another player was coming from that side? I don't know if you guys have analyzed it, but he threw the ball to a place where he's backing. There was a player behind him. He knew there was a player behind him. But what if there was another player coming where he cleared the ball? So
just to end the Liverpool conversation, because now it's sounding like a lot of excuses, but it's okay. I just wanted to add that an Arsenal ex-player finished you guys off. All right, so Leeds versus Bournemouth ended 2-2.
That's a good game.
Lagz called the win for Leeds. I called the win for Bournemouth. It ended 2-2. So that was a good game. City, Burnley. I mean, I didn't expect Burnley to put up a fight. I was hopeful when it was 1-1, but I knew I was switching from games all around, and I watched a little of it. and I saw that the pressure was after that one watch.
No, two on goals. It's not their fault. There's nothing.
Exactly. So Jagos, I didn't watch that game, and I've not seen the highlights. So maybe you guys will help me. When I looked at the stats on live scores, I was like, if you take out 2 own goals, again, this is just me looking at it. I didn't watch the game, right? If you take away 2 own goals, and you take away the fact that Alan scored in injury time, he scored 2 goals in injury time.
Yes.
One of these goals, the second goal was it was just a click. If they're about to blow the whistle, the guy already back to it. I don't know what he was doing. The same guy that scored the own goal, nodded the ball backwards to Haaland, who was in front of his keeper.
Yes. So that guy could have easily had a hat-trick of own goals.
So to be honest, it's not like Man City actually blew him off the water. No. Burnley actually played. We both know unlucky.
Burnley isn't that team at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they will probably lose a lot of this kind of games.
This kind of games, yes. So
it's but again, there's if you look at Man City at the moment, there's not a lot to be afraid of. If you take out Haaland, and I'll tell you what.
Because if you are coming from where I'm coming from, I always fear them.
No. I'll tell you, I fear them as well. But I'm just being objective at the moment. The reason is this: you see, there's a driving force that is Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
That X factor. That X factor is in there.
X factor. Yeah, they don't have that X factor.
They don't have that X factor.
Haaland will score a lot of goals, but remember, if you are able to clear off that midfield totally, charge of that midfield, he might not get a lot of goals.
You're right.
So I think that they will be there about.
You're right.
Arsenal, Liverpool fighting it.
Yes, no. Man City will still push this. I think they have.
My fear is that I don't want Man City because once they start winning and they start thinking that they can do it, and they go on. All those they are rubbish run. Team wins on the bounce. I mean, we are in a position to tell you what's up. You understand? When you have 92 points in one season, we had 92 points. Another season we had 97 points, and you still don't win the league.
And you do not win the league.
So you see the difference. The difference now is if you check the quality, or if you actually check other teams, and you're trying to match them player for player, you will notice Guardiola is suffering from something. He doesn't have that. It's not the players they buy are not top of the range. They are not the best of the best. He used to buy specialties. Doku doesn't really move anybody. Fine. Actually, this season he's been doing better.
Go and check against the fullbacks he always destroys 90% of the time. They are 30-something-year-olds.
If you check,
who are gone past their prime.
Bernardo Silva isn't creating. He's being more of defensive.
Yeah.
Rodri isn't the best.
I wonder why Silva seems to be.
Yeah, I think he's been off. Foden has been off since last season. I don't know what happened to Foden. It looks to be confident.
How did Foden play yesterday?
I think it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't, but it's not. He hasn't been exceptional since he got injured last season.
What we're talking about is that
factor, that fear.
Think about Gundogan at the top of his powers. These guys were guys that you will be scared of.
And you look at their defense. Their defense does not put fear into people. I mean,
their defense now too is not as
Arsetee. They are not. They play Kusanov. I like him. Yeah. He's a good player, but I mean, Oscar Bob is also a good player, but they don't really strike that. Hopefully, this would help them. This will help them.
I hope it doesn't, bro. I hope it doesn't.
We hope so as well. Postecoglou is another defeat for him.
Okay,
Sunderland.
That billionaire in Nottingham Forest is going to learn the hard way. I told you. You kept saying, give Postecoglou or whatever his name is chance. I said, okay.
So actually, I watched the highlights of that game. Nottingham Forest actually played Sunderland. That's
how they always play. Even when he was in Tottenham, they always show up. They'll play. But there's always something missing in his team.
There was some. No, it was. We don't know what it is. But I mean, he's had like 4 defeats already. I mean, it's too early for someone to stand up.
Do you think if it was what's his name? That is still back there?
No.
The coach. No. Do you think they would have lost 4?
No, I said right from start that I think Nuno was going to go. His mind was already out already. But
And then
then
you
talking
wasn't
about
it.
Nuno,
You gave him Edu, whose scouting ability is one of the worst in the history of scouting.
yes, and but I think it's and Sunderland are doing fine. They are fifth on the table. I think they are gathering all their points to stay in the league, which is good for them. Which is good for them. Just get as many points as you can. And
Yeah.
talking about Nuno, I think he's a good signing for West Ham. I think that's a very very good signing for
Yes,
West Ham. I think he'll
absolutely.
be a
I
good
just hope
coach
they
there.
don't get a bounce next weekend against us, please. Just
Oh,
let's win.
it will happen. 1-1 draw. Spurs versus Wolves. That's the
Spurs
last
are
minute
back to their
goal.
level. I told you about that one too. They are back to their level.
And then today we had Aston Villa finally getting a win against Fulham. Oli Watkins getting a
You
goal there.
know, that game I want to talk about a little bit. It was a
Okay,
weird game. Fulham could have easily been up
been up.
3-0, something like that.
Yes.
Easily. And then they just collapsed for no reason. Like it felt like they stopped knowing how to defend in a matter of maybe 10 minutes. But they have a player I love, Joshua King. I think
Oh,
that's
he's
one
good.
to watch for the
He's
future.
good. He has a good
A
future.
fantastic player. I like him a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah, I'm happy for at least Aston Villa finally they've gotten points on the board, so
Yeah.
that's good for
And
them.
Watkins scored. So
Yes, I know we don't have much time left, but we'll give you the rest of the time for you to talk about the game.
yeah, so I have a few things to talk about actually. And this is not about Arsenal. I
Yes,
think there's a lot wrong with the refereeing in England.
true.
It
I agree
is
with you.
horrible.
Yeah.
This is not because I'm an Arsenal fan. If you can be objective as a fan and you watched that game today, it was a bullying session. Those guys kicked the living daylights out of those Arsenal players.
Those guys
Not
are
even 2
bricklayers.
minutes
They're
into
iron
the game.
benders.
Not even 2 minutes into the game. Jolinton was already kicked Saka with for no reason at all. And the referee waved to play on, and that sets the tone. And they kicked and kicked and kicked and kicked us all through the game. Now, if you compare that to the Barcelona game against the same Newcastle at the same stadium just midweek, it was different. It's a European ref.
Yeah, European ref. Yes, very different.
A ref from Europe. Once they started to try to bully those Barcelona players, once you get a yellow card, it calmed everything down. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe it's until they break somebody's leg completely. When it was so bad, and the thing is, it's as if they set out to buy giants. It was horrible. Even when they were taking our players, they were bringing in more giants. Lascelles, they took out Jolinton. I thought, okay, they'll bring in maybe a short, maybe five players. Next thing, I saw Lascelles warming up. I'm like, why do people finding all this? It's as if they do newspaper advert, and they, if you are 6 feet and above and can kick a ball, this applies to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Also, for Arsenal, I think there are some positives.
So, before you please hold your thoughts. I also want to quickly speak on what you said about the way Newcastle play. If you have noticed, that's how Newcastle plays.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And that's why I mentioned that. And that's why I mentioned that it's not against just an Arsenal. And that's why I said until they break someone's leg.
Exactly. I think it's left the officials to. It
is wrong. Stoke City used to play like that.
Yeah.
They broke Ramsey's leg completely. Took him out. That guy never recovered from that broken leg. It is wrong. You can't. And
especially when they play at home.
Yes.
It's almost as if they smoke something.
Yes.
It's a different atmosphere. It's everybody says it's one of the toughest grounds.
No. When you say it's a different atmosphere, I agree. But it's like you're giving them an excuse. It was that same different atmosphere against Barcelona last week. We watched it. They
Do you know why?
In Europe.
Jagos, do you know why? Do you know why it was different?
It's English refs.
Do you know why? Do you know why? It was, apart from the officiating, do you know why it was different? When I was watching that game during the week, something just clicked in my mind that it is good to have systems. Barcelona, no matter the kind of players that they have, they have this way of holding the ball. You will not get to them. You will try. You will only try.
They would.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. However, if you watched like the first 20 minutes of that game, Newcastle were out to kill Barcelona.
Yes, to be honest, if you notice, it was just individual brilliance that helped Barcelona from Rashford. I mean, outside.
But what had happened was by the 20th minute, the referee had taken control of the game, so the Barcelona players were able to play a bit more. Newcastle themselves relaxed from trying to kick them because they knew that they were going to get sent off. See, Chelsea used to play like that against Barcelona, if you remember.
Yes,
they would get red cards every game.
Yeah.
But that same Chelsea will play like that in the Premiership the following week and not get a yellow card.
Yeah. I think there's a problem. There's a problem with the officiating in Premier League.
Yes, when you look at European tournaments, that's why you don't get a lot of English refs in those tournaments. For such a big league, they should have more refs than any other league.
Yeah.
FIFA World Cup, they should have the most number of refs, but they don't. Because who are they going to take? Is it this one that looks like someone that was bullied as a child? That has PTSD. So it's not allowing bullies to bully us now. That since people did not defend me that time, let them bully you people too. It is wrong. It is not right.
Yeah.
However, like I was saying, there are some positives today. I think Victor Gyökeres got involved in the game a bit more today. It was a battle, and I saw that he was up for it. But those Newcastle defenders.
Look, you have to say those guys. They are there. I mean, apart from Newcastle defenders, I mean, I have to give a special mention to Nick Pope. Amazing keeper.
Oh yes, he kept them in the game.
I mean, he save after save after save.
In fact, that game reminded me of one of those games we played against United, where the girl was keeping.
Yeah, the girl was saved. I mean, if not for
save after save after
aside from that Merino's head, I mean, he had it. He was top notch.
Yes. It was a good game, and I'm glad we won. At a point, I was going to take a draw, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was praying for a draw because it didn't look like we're going to break them down, especially when they started sitting deep. And when you say set piece, that's the importance of set piece. When you play games like that where it doesn't seem as if there's any other solution, well, Gabriel, even though they were holding him, wrapping him, hugging him for the second goal, found a way.
No, but Gabriel is the cheat. Let's certify that. For that Guatemala goal, he was looking for a foul and they didn't even touch him. He was such a slight. That was very embarrassing. That was very embarrassing for Gabriel.
That pissed me off. In fact, it wasn't just Gabriel. Mosquera, under no pressure, kicked the ball out for a corner kick.
I can't blame Mosquera. He's the St. James Park.
No. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying you are a professional player.
Yes, you should be calm. You should be calm.
Calm down. You are not even under any pressure. Just pass the ball to the goalie or play it out of play. But I'm glad that Arteta played him because at least now he knows what to expect. He's not going
the experience to go.
When we have an injury, it can always come in. It didn't just turn out to be a bad. Guatemala actually surprised me. He led the press well. I thought he was going to slow.
He did. His hold-up play was actually very good. His hold-up play was very good.
Very, very well.
I think a lot of credit has to go to Arsenal today, the way you guys played, because the fact that you're playing away at Newcastle, the way Newcastle plays, and Newcastle is not a bad side. Newcastle is a very good side. They are very solid defensively.
Absolutely.
So I think it was a good result. But then it comes back to sometimes little mistakes, can cost you a game. That's the way I see it. For example, do you know? I think that Pope, despite all his heroics in that game, was the one that gave that game away. There was a he had the ball, like maybe 2 or 3 minutes before, and instead of just holding on to the ball, it's 1-1. There's no need to be trying to go get a quick goal. He was trying to send
2-3 times he launched it at the landing, and the ball came back.
There was no need for that. There was no need for that. Sometimes
there was you needed to come. Yes,
there was no need for
right.
that. I think he gave that ball away too cheaply, and that was what led to the corner.
That was what led.
He threw one with his hands. He kicked one with his legs.
He kicked one with his leg. Yes.
And the ball came back all the time.
Why is he doing that? At that time of the game, it was late. Arsenal had the momentum, because the last 20 minutes or so, you guys were pounding them. You had scored, so you should sense the energy in the stadium that Arsenal had the momentum. So there's no need, to try to
slow the game down and get a yellow card.
Exactly.
And the truth was, at that point in the game, I think both managers are settled for a draw. Looking at the substitutions, because Arsenal started bringing in. I mean, apart from Merino's header, he didn't contribute anything much. But we all knew they were going to launch it to Merino. I mean, he brought in Lewis Kelly. You knew this was a defensive sub. So for me, at that point, just go with the point. A point is better than losing 3 points. Honestly, a point is better than losing.
One more call out. I thought Eze played well. Because it's not easy to play.
Eze has always been a good player, and I really, last week we were chatting. When you guys were playing last week, we were chatting that I don't know why Eze is not starting. Eze should be starting games.
This was the same thing I mentioned to Tunela. I said Eze should be playing that 10. Let him get used to it. You don't look at an opposition that let him get used to it.
You're gonna be playing Merino in 10. That's
what I'm saying. Like Eze, yes, he had an okay game. But I wanted him to control the game, to enforce himself.
Bro, there's no way of controlling a game. Let's see Fernandez control when he's playing against Jolinton and
that's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm trying to say.
To be honest, I like those guys. You see, at one point in the first half, I saw Tonali doing like this. I said, this guy has used all his energy. Those guys, they're athletic, they are strong, and they are technically very sound on the ball.
And they are not afraid to just get stuck in.
They are not.
Just technical. They love the physicality.
They love physicality.
Do you know what I think of when I think of Newcastle? It's like they are the Atletico Madrid of England.
Yes. They are very close. If I had their coach, who coach Atletico Madrid easily. Simeone will survive in Newcastle easily.
What do you think about the penalty call, though?
So I'm going to talk.
The one that was overturned.
I'll talk on that. This is my take on that. Let's move it outside of the box, right? Let's say Eze was trying to dribble past Jolinton, gets the ball past him. Jolinton then hits him. So while the ball was going, Jolinton gets a little bit of the ball, but Jolinton hits him on the knee. Would the referee call a foul?
It's a foul.
It's a foul because you would have stopped him, even though you touched the ball, you would still have stopped him from going on to try and get to the ball. It's the same thing that happened to Mbeumo for United. The keeper got a touch, right? But he took out Mbeumo, stopping him from getting to the ball. It was a straightforward penalty. Now, the fact that I was listening to the commentary, the commentators were saying that the VAR guys were trying to convince the referee. They were talking to the referee, telling the referee that look at it this way, look at it this way. It is wrong. But I can also understand it if I'm being objective.
I think because it's in the box, right? So there are some decisions you have to be careful. Like to me, if everybody on first replay, like it looks like a clear penalty. But then again, there's something about the rules. It's like before the season starts, they need to be sending everybody an email. This is the rule book for this season. Because so that
they will not follow it. They will not follow it.
Because
Lagz, hold up. Anything that you have human in it, they are still going to be biased. The Gabriel one, I know you want us to say it's a penalty. It's not. The proximity was too
So
close.
that's what I'm saying. It's in every game. Now, next week now, Liverpool Chelsea. The same thing could happen. But guess what? What was their
And they will
decision?
call it penalty.
The reason why it wasn't a decision was because they said it ricocheted of Elanga. That was the reason why it was not. It ricocheted of Elanga. It wasn't an Elanga shot. If it was an Elanga shot, that's a clear penalty. They said because it looks like he hit Gabriel first. Gabriel hit it first. Then he hit Elanga.
And
Then that's why I came back onto Gabriel. So I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Because last season, that's a clear penalty.
No.
Gyökeres
Last season, they were not giving that as penalty. If he touches someone, in fact, if he touches your body before touching your hand, it wasn't a penalty. If he touches somebody else before touching your hand, depending on the kind of ricochet, it's not a penalty.
It's not a penalty. Like,
so
Gyökeres foul.
Also because they also mentioned proximity because they were listening to VR. They said it was very close as well. Yes. So it was hard to say, oh,
to be honest, I didn't even think of that Gabriel one as a penalty at all. As in, I didn't even think of it. But going back to the Pope incident, I agree with you that maybe if it had happened outside of the box, you and I know that we really can't compare them. You know, fouls outside the box, even though ideally on paper, if it's a foul outside the box, it should be a foul in the box, right?
But why was one given to United last week?
I think that's where Sanchez did not get the ball.
Where I'm going. Where
Sanchez did not get
the lack of consistency is my problem. The lack of consistency is my own problem.
Touch the ball. Sanchez actually got a touch on the ball.
The lack of consistency is the problem.
That's why we keep saying refs, the English refs in particular.
Yes.
They are just horrible people.
Yes.
Now they are using VAR to cheat. That's what
do you know that last week, the foul on Bueno, personally, I don't think that it's a red card.
Exactly. Let them play on.
I don't think it's a red card.
Like a red card.
I think it's a penalty, but I don't think it's a red card. Why?
The rule says if you block, if you are the last man and you block a goal scorer.
No, but there was a second defender.
There was a defender on that side. There was a defender. And today's what I think, I really don't think because the referee called it at first, I would have said that they should let it stay. Okay, even though Pope touched the ball, and in fairness to Pope, he got the ball, and the touching of Gyökeres on his knee wasn't because Pope was trying to launch. He had gotten the ball. It's just that
his leg was out. His leg was
He
stuck out his leg. That's why I got the ball. If he missed that ball, let's say with the way he stuck out his leg, if he missed that ball,
yes,
right, he will still have taken Gyökeres down. It will still be a penalty. Right?
Yes.
Exactly. So you don't need to launch. You just need to stop the player. That's the law.
Yeah.
You know.
So I think what would have been fair would be a penalty, but not to send Pope out.
Pope off. Yeah. Anyway, justice prevailed at the end.
Thank God that if you guys don't win,
this is what honestly that would have been it.
Yeah, that's what we would have been talking about. I would have spent the last 20 minutes discussing that. Yes, why not? Because if it happened to you, that's what you guys will cry about.
But
we will cry. No one will cry about
it. That's the lack of consistency. Look at, was it last weekend or the weekend before? The Southampton game that somebody almost broke McAllister's leg, and you gave him a yellow card.
Yes.
That's the
that instead was actually a red card. Straight red. In fact, that's the type of one that should go for 3 games.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. And you know, other people don't want you to have penalties because even when they give them penalty, they don't score it. So they will not want you to have penalty. They gave them penalty against Brentford.
Well, on that note, this is where we end today. Thank you very much, everyone.
Hey, Kola, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We would like to have you back again. Maybe when Arsenal wins the league, you come celebrate with us one more time.
No, obviously you'll be back depending on the Chelsea Liverpool result.
Game. Oh yes. Let's look forward to that. Thank you guys. Remember to like, subscribe, follow us, comment. We love to hear from you guys. Thank you.
Thank
All
you
right,
guys.
thank you.